Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Indie Hangout. I am Pneumatics. You may know me over on YouTube or over on Twitch if you add an extra X at the end. I am joined, as always, by my amazing co-hosts, Maz and Kronos. What's up, guys?
What's going on, Maz with Maztech Gaming? Find me over on YouTube at Maztech Gaming or on Twitch at Maztech_gaming.
How's it going, everybody? Kronos here. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at OSOK Kronos, just like that.
Nice, guys. Episode 15.
Was that far into it?
Dude, yeah. Holy cow. 15
Just seems like
episodes
yesterday.
in. I know. So, it's awesome. We've gone through so many topics, and I'm surprised we haven't jumped onto this topic sooner, but better late than never. It's going to probably stir things here and there, maybe for our listeners, because I feel like many different people feel a different way about mobile games. So we're going to be talking about the mobile market struggle for indie devs in general, because there's a lot to talk about with this one. So, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and make sure to let our listeners know that if they didn't know, we have a Discord. And if you wanted to go ahead and join the Discord to be a part of the discussions, to be part of the polls, to be a part of the questions thrown out there, if you want to get in on some early stuff, like we have some devs that we're going to be interviewing, if you want to go ahead and possibly ask us to see if we can get a dev on, that's the place to do it. And you can find the link for that in the About section wherever you are listening to this podcast. So, on to the bulk of discussion here, the state of mobile gaming for indie devs. So, in general, first off, before we really get into it, I want to ask, do you guys play a lot of mobile gaming in your free time? Let's start with the Kronos.
Yes, I play quite a bit of mobile gaming. Well, actually, I play mobile gaming every day, like a lot. At work, at home, when I'm just sitting there bored.
Wow. Every day?
Yeah, I have a couple games I play every day just for like, maybe, even if it's only for like 5 to 10 minutes, just to do a couple little challenges and then pretty much, call it for that day.
Nice. What about you, Mass?
I'm like the ADD of mobile games. I'll play a game here and there, not every day. I think we got like a little mix of like hardcore all the time, most of the time, or sometimes, and not at all. But I am one of those people that, I'll play a game until I either get tired of it or something better comes along. And it's the ads, man. You can find some other games with the ads, and like, I'll try this one out. You forget about the game that you were playing. You get rid of it and rinse and repeat. I don't have like a mainstay game or anything like that.
Nice, man. And for me, I almost never play mobile games. So I love that you said that. Like, there's a really good mix between the three of us. So it's going to be even more fun talking about the subject in general, because yeah, I don't ever play mobile games. I can't get into them. Every time I go on to the Google Play Store, because I have Android, so anytime I go on and I'll look through it, even now I'm looking at some games, I just there's nothing there that I'm really like, I need to play this, But I do have to say my top games, and maybe we'll go over this too, like our top games that we play on mobile. So my top games that I play, when I do play, are Pokemon Go. Yeah, believe it or not, I still play that game. I literally just popped it up probably last month when me and Bay and Grunt Tattoo, for listeners who don't know, that's my brother and his family. We went out to, where did we go? Out to the Dells in Wisconsin. And I was like, for some reason, we're out the park, and I looked at my brother. I'm like, hey, got your phone on you? And he goes, duh. I'm like, well, you haven't opened up in a while? Pokemon Go. And he's like, oh my God, you just started a bad thing. So then the rest of the day we're on Pokemon Go. It was terrible. Nice. So I play Pokemon Go. I do have Minecraft installed. I played it a little bit and then I couldn't handle the controls. Stardew Valley, surprise.
Wait,
else?
What?
I know, right? I mean,
that game?
Right?
You play that game?
Surprising, I know. I mean, who would have thought? And Fallout Shelter. Those are my top games that I play. And literally the only games I have up on my home, well, one of my home screens. What about you, Maz? What are some of the your top games you always play when you go on mobile?
Well, Fallout Shelter's always a go-to, right? But I'm always playing something new. It's like as some of these ads come up, you see them enough. It's repetition. You know, I'm in marketing as a professional, and it's impressions. It's how many times you are seeing something before you're like, okay, what is this really about? So I'm always changing. Like right now, I'm playing Roadside Empire, which is just kind of a little bit of like an upgrader clicker, trying to build up different areas. And it really is no point to it other than clicking on things and just increasing your income. And I'm playing Tiny Warriors, which is like kind of a strategy, some sort of strategy game. It's kind of hard to explain. And Color Block Jam, which is a puzzle game. Those are like the three that I've been playing just recently. You ask me again a week from now, 2 weeks from now, it's probably 3 or 4 different games that I play every once in a while. But my mainstay, obviously, is going to be Fallout Shelter for sure. But yeah, that's about it for the most part.
Nice, man. Yeah, we got that in common. That's probably the number one game I always go back to. But what about you, Kronos?
Give me a second here. Let me pull up my phone.
God, here we go.
All right, so I have a chess game on there that I play with some of the guys at work. I have Pokemon Go. I do play that.
Yeah, buddy.
So I was kind of like sitting here. I'm like, oh yeah, he's not alone. I play Pokemon Go quite a bit.
You're gonna get a friend request.
I also play a game called Pokemon Unite. Really enjoy that one. I think you would actually enjoy it too. It's like, you ever played League of Legends?
Yeah.
It's League of Legends with Pokemon.
Get out of here, really?
No, it's called Pokemon Unite. Check it out.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to.
Okay.
Now.
And then I play a lot of kind of I guess you would say cozy games in a way. I kind of always laughed about the Stardew Valley thing, but then I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, wait, I play a lot of these cozy games on mobile. So I got one called Merge Dragons, and it's like you go in, and you're just merging different items to create bigger items. That's all it is. And then you raise dragons and you unlock new dragons by merging them. And it keeps going. There's so much stuff to do in that game. One I've been playing a lot of here lately is Hill Climb 2. It's like just a little wacky little racing game. You got to try and make it through the course in the fastest time. You're racing against other people. It's pretty fun because it gets competitive at times when you're trying to win a race, and if you lose, you go back down a level and stuff. I play that one every day pretty much. And then the last one I've been playing is No Limit 2. It's a drag racing game. Got actual drag racing cars and stuff in it. Actually, you race against other people in that one too on real time in that game. So you can race your friends, or you build a car, you tune it, you adjust all the suspension to try and make it faster. It's a lot to it. We've been sitting there at work for hours on end playing that game.
Dude, that's awesome. It reminds. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just say I got some more, but they're just little brain teasers like Sudoku and stuff, just to kind of wake the mind in the morning.
It's funny. It's probably a lot of little games I've missed out on by not even really diving in. Maybe it's for me, it's just I find it so hard to find a good game because, and we'll dig more into this, but it seems like sometimes the games aren't what they seem. The ad is completely different to what the game is when you click into it and download it. And that's what my wife has seen too. Bae will download a game and she's like, I really wish that the game actually was what they showed on the ad, because then I would have actually enjoyed it, and that's unfortunate. It's very, very deceiving. But she plays very simple games too. She plays, and it's almost it seems like a lot of these mobile games are very simple, very you don't really have to think, you just kind of do. You have your typical match 3 games, maybe small puzzle games. She plays another one's like an organizer. It's like you're organizing shelves, but it's kind of like mixing in a match 3 as well, because you match 3 of the same wine bottles together on the shelf, and then it clears out, and then what's ever behind it comes forward, and you go level by level. And I'm like, okay, I like how that's done. In general, what would you guys say would be just a guess would be the most popular genre on mobile?
Ooh, that's tough.
I would guess either Merge or RPG.
I kind of agree on the Merge one, because that's I've seen a lot of those games. But then I don't know, the match 4s are pretty popular too, or match games,
Yeah. I would say too, and that's pretty much true. It's the most popular genres in mobile gaming right now are puzzle, which would be your match 3s, match 4s, and stuff like that. Then you have strategy, RPGs, There you go. Simulation and action games. Those are the top genres on mobile gaming right now.
Interesting. You know, it's funny because I'm not surprised that your wife said, "I wish that this game matched." It's a practice. It creates FOMO, and
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point where if it's not the game that I just watched the video for, the ad for, it immediately comes off. I don't care.
Yes.
And if you start with an ad, you're done. And if you push notifications to me without permission, because I don't do push notifications for apps, for games, I don't need that. Hey, come on back and play the game that's waiting for you. I don't. No, screw you. I'm too busy for that shit. I want that gone. And so if those parameters hit, it's done. So like if it's not something that is as advertised, push notifications or ads up front, we're done. And the nice thing is, and one thing I will say, because obviously there are more mobile users than game users, more than console game users, because everybody has a phone. There's a lot more reviews, and you can get a lot of good feedback on these platforms saying, hey, not as advertised. So you can actually avoid a lot of hassle.
Yeah, dude. You know, and this whole topic is like I said, getting into the state of mobile gaming for, not just indie devs, but also like all devs in general. And talking about the state of it is the fact that maybe for people like me, the reason that I don't want to, not that it's a twofer. One, I don't really want to play mobile games, and I don't really enjoy mobile games. And I think it's also because they've left a bad taste in my mouth with ads galore. Like you said, also the obnoxious notifications, the blatant, almost like, how do you say, the blatant push of a game through an ad, and that's not the game. It's like, why would you deceive me like that? Like that's like the biggest hurt. What other platform do you go on? You could correct me if I'm wrong here, but if you go on even like Steam or Xbox and you're going through the library of games and it shows you a snippet of that game, right? And you download and you play it, and it's nothing like the snippet. I think I've only found that on mobile, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, it's a bad practice. There's a lot of problems with mobile. You know, we talk about shovelware. I mean, you're going to find shovelware up the wazoo when it comes to mobile games and devious practices. You mentioned Pokemon Go. Real quick, Pneumatics, tell us what Pokemon Go is, just to refresh. It's been around since 2016. Believe it or not, it's already 9 years old. But tell us what Pokemon Go is.
Oh, yeah. So if you didn't know, Pokemon Go is a nice little app on your phone that you can go and pull up. And back when it was all the rage, when the first generation of Pokemon were out, they were anywhere in the world where you were at. It's a GPS marker pretty much. So you could be at your house or down the street and you can go ahead and find random Pokemon. Your phone, you click on them, you throw Pokeballs to catch them. It was good fun because it was all about discoverability. And then they started marking these Pokestops for big like landmarks that were kind of sightseeing areas. So you can go to like parks or stuff like that and find these Pokestops and get more Pokeballs and incense and all these different things to catch more. And then obviously like the game goes on and on with giving you quests, more generations popped out, so on and so forth. And yeah, but it was all by pretty much GPS tracker. Wherever you went, that's where you were in the world, and you were catching Pokemon where you were at.
Absolutely. So I'll ask you, what is Pokemon Go designed to do?
It's funny because initially, obviously, it was designed to get you on to play, and it got a lot of people up and out of the house and off their butts kind of deal because they wanted to go find Pokemon wherever they could. But if you're getting more to like the microtransactions that you'll get into, is that where you're leaning towards?
No, something far more nefarious.
But geez, I'm not sure. I would love for you to elaborate.
So right. So we're getting into my wheelhouse. I am a professional marketer. I've been in digital sales for actually 18 years at this point. Since the advent of of really how Google started to take off, when Facebook started to really take off and become the marketing go-to. And now we've got what you call programmatic advertising. And programmatic advertising, for those that don't know it, is actually display ads on your mobile, display ads on your computer. But the thing is, what this was doing, it was when you play Pokemon Go, it requires you to share your location, right? Of course.
Yeah.
GPS location, you just mentioned it. And with AR, that makes it fun. AR, for those keeping score at home, stands for augmented reality. It is looking through a camera and having different things put up. So different than virtual reality. Instead of being in a virtual environment, you're in your real environment and you are seeing whatever the application is willing you to see. In this particular case, Pokemon, right? And so when this came out, and this was really more of a big problem by Niantic when this came out in 2016, 2017, requesting, full Google account access. But it's also using the GPS and the AR mapping tasks, right? And what that does is it's allowing this company to map out locations. People were trespassing when they put Pokestops. It was more like, okay, there's a big event coming up. It's going to be here. Maybe not. It can be as innocent, like you were talking about, pneumatics, when it comes to landmarks, tourist traps, like whatever. But when you get to specific buildings, people were trespassing to get to these specific Pokemon, and all the while it's like, okay, well, we're mapping this area out. We don't have enough data on this. Let's throw Pokemon in there. So people would start trespassing. People were dying in accidents. There was a driver in Japan that killed a pedestrian while he was driving. There's a lot of really bad things there. But then what can Niantic do at that point? Not only you got the microtransactions, which you guys know, and our listeners at home absolutely know we're going to get into tonight. But on top of that, now I've got location data that I can sell to digital companies that want to sell programmatic advertising. I know the areas. I can map the areas out. Now I also have that user's data, not only to know where their location is, but to know where they are and to understand their shopping habits. Because when you close out a Pokemon Go app, guess what's still going? Your GPS. And I can tell you went to Burger King after you found Squirtle. And I can send out ads based on, when somebody walks into or gets in the vicinity of a fast food, a competitor can pop up an ad saying, "Hungry? Come to Wendy's." But this is all based off of location. So it's a lot more involved than just a game. And some of the good things, and you mentioned it, pneumatics, it's got people up and out of the house. It created a lot of buzz. But this is about data collection. This is about, real world mapping. This is about sharing and selling data to other companies to make their advertising efforts, their marketing efforts way more effective, because programmatic advertising, retargeting, it all starts with location data.
I love it. Dude, you started getting off on that. I'm like, I knew it. I knew he was going to talk about that, but I didn't want to presume that you were just going to get into that.
It's a huge hot button.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember, and obviously we're getting off on a tangent here, but it's a good tangent. So it's one of those, like, it came out with an article about a couple of years after, and how Niantic was selling your data to other companies and why you should be worried and all this stuff, right? And when that all came out, it's like, did people not know? It literally tells you accept the terms that you're allowing them to do whatever they want with your data as soon as you hit okay. And then people all act surprised afterwards. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was gonna say, yeah, it literally does ask you. I just opened it up. It's like, your data may be used. It's like,
yeah.
But the thing is, we talked about it before in previous episodes. Nobody reads the fine print.
Right.
Very rarely.
It takes a big article for it to be blasted in people's face, like, oh, that's why I've been getting those coupons for Burger King.
It can be. There have been times I've gone to, I'm not a big fast food eater, but I stopped at Wendy's once and I got a text message saying, "Hungry?" It's like, dude, leave me the hell alone. Like, are you kidding me? It's like, leave me alone. Let me live my life.
Let me order my food at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
What you doing? What you doing? We might be getting off on a tangent here, but it's not really on a tangent. This is what mobile, tying it back in. This is what mobile games do. They capture data, and that was when, you know, we had that huge uproar in that 2009, 2010 era when, you know, people's privacy was compromised. We had those antitrust lawsuits against Google and Facebook. And how many times was Mark Zuckerberg called in front of Congress to talk about antitrust
Yeah,
laws?
that was a lot.
This is powering through. We are getting your data. Basically, what's happening now is you can do what you want online, and if you don't want to read the fine print, hey, that's cool. We're still gonna put what we're gonna put in there. I'm going to through your firewall. I'm gonna come into your computer anytime I want and take the data that I want. I mean, this is what cookies are. This is what cache is. This is what pixels are. When somebody says, "Hey, you know, I went onto a website, and all of a sudden I started seeing ads following me around saying, come back to this website," or different types of advertising for that specific website or one of the products or services on that website. It followed me around because what we do, and I say we, what these marketing companies do is they drop a pixel into your cookies when you go to a website. And then you have these ads follow you around. That's called retargeting. It is one of the most effective online methods right now. And it starts with collecting data on apps, all apps, as many apps as you can think of. But games are the most widely used app usage on any mobile device across the world. So they are, not only are they collecting your data and selling your data, then they're exploiting you in essence, but then they're also taking money from you in microtransactions or shoving ads down your throat. So, I mean, this is very relevant to our conversation here. It's just a huge button, a huge hot button for me.
Do you think that's why that it almost seems there's so much deceit when it comes to the ads that are thrown at you? Like they're trying to get you to download this game that, you know, isn't the game you saw, and all of a sudden it's full of crap that you didn't want in the first place. It's like they're trying to get you to get your data.
Yeah. So, I mean, in a lot of cases, and that's exactly it, New. When you see a game that's like, oh, wow, I want to do that. I told you guys early on, as soon as one of those three things happen, you deceive me, you send me push notifications, or you start off by serving an ad before I even get a chance to try it out, I'm done. But most people will play through a little bit to see, okay, are we going to get to that? You know, and a lot of mobile games now, I don't know if you've noticed, if you see that ad and it's not the game, it'll start off with that. It's like, okay, here's the real game. Okay, now that we've done 3 or 4 levels, let's go back to that little mini game. So that's the mini game. It's not the actual main game. So they try to keep you on a little bit longer that way. But if I can serve, if I have 10,000 downloads, right, and I can serve up 3 or 4 ads a piece, that's 30 to 40,000 impressions. Is that worth money to me? Absolutely. And that's just, it's going to be perpetual. I mean, I can advertise that until I'm blue in the face. And if people continue to go on there and give it a chance, and I can deliver up ads every 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to make bank on that. So yes, to answer your question, that is absolutely one of the reasons why they do that. Something that's quick, easy, something that's fun. But I don't understand it, though, at the same time. Why don't you just make that goddamn game?
Yeah.
That's what people want.
Yes.
So why just make the game?
If they just did that, then they would grab the attention of people like me. You wouldn't have deceived me. You would have got me onto a game that I was actually interested in, that I actually would have played. You could have probably thrown some ads in my face, and I would have been like, yeah, whatever. You would have got your money, and everyone's happy. You know, you win, I win. Everything's good. And like you said, I don't know why they just don't do that, because it's terrible. But side note, you know what really, really irks me? What really gets on my nerves?
Hit me.
When I get an install of whatever you call your phone updates or whatever, and I update my phone, and then I go into my apps and I see that it downloaded like 10 different games that I never wanted on my phone.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Just rips me into, I'm like, why? Why did you do this? Oh my, it's just I don't know.
I didn't ask for this.
Dude, it irritates me so much for no good reason. I mean, there is a reason, obviously, because I didn't want it on my phone. But like to the point of like just anger, going through like so angrily to uninstall, uninstall. I hate you. It's so bad. I don't know why. It's another notch in why I don't. I think it's another notch in why I don't like playing mobile games. It's just like too many like deceitful things, too many things that are like thrown in my face that I don't want. Like just just treat gaming like other gaming, like on consoles or PC, and just small scale for mobile. The gamers will come, they will check out the games they like, they will download them, they will play them. Don't do these deceitful things in order to get them on. But now, as you were saying, Maz, and explaining all the ad things, I mean, that makes sense. That's a good reason why they do it. And
It's
because there's
yeah, it's exploitation, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
exploitation, and they cannot get away with that on Steam. They can't get away with that on console. That's a little bit more of a safe environment, but everybody, I mean, and let's be honest, our consoles, you know what, they probably do, but for our immediate intents and purposes here, because I can't prove it otherwise, there probably is GPS on our damn consoles, but there's no GPS to do that. There's no way to exploit people like that. You know, some of the games that are like that are on console or on PC, they rely on microtransactions versus ads. Like I'll use an example. And you know the nice thing is, and we'll get into this as well. I mentioned a game called Bloons TD6 a couple of weeks ago. Lots of fun. It is a mobile
Yes.
game and it doesn't have ads. It has microtransactions if you want it. And you don't even need the microtransactions. That's just like, it's gravy. It's such a solid game that it's addictive and you can unlock things in a reasonable amount of time, but no ads. It's all microtransactions if you want to buy extra stuff. And that translates nicely over onto Steam because now it's like, hey, if you want to go ahead and buy this through the Steam store, be my guest. But if not, that's okay too. But they're not serving up ads because these consoles, Steam, even Epic, they're not going to allow the ads like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, with that, I think it'd be a good time to go ahead and take a quick ad break. And when we get back, we're going to go and get into the section of creative freedom and some development constraints that indie devs might have when it comes to mobile gaming right after this. Hey, Indie Hangout crew, loving the show? Help us spread the word by dropping a quick 5-star rating or review wherever you might be listening to this podcast. It takes just a second and helps more than you know. Thanks for being awesome. Now, back to the show. And we're back. Welcome back to the Indie Hangout with me, Pneumatics, Maztec Gaming, and Osak Kronos. I think yeah, it's funny. So I think we've talked a bit about the state of the mobile gaming market, right? And I think we're all like rearing to just get right into that monetization thing. It's starting to come up a little bit here and there, and I think it would be smart to get into. I think maybe too, it'd be good to go over the poll. I know it's a bit early. We should save it for last. If we're going to be talking about monetization, I mean, the whole poll was about monetization. So what do you guys
I
say?
agree.
We'll just go ahead and throw it out there?
Yeah, let's do it.
We it's naturally progressing to the microtransaction
Yeah.
conversation. Like we have to do the poll now. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, poll time. Let's go. So, over on Discord and over on X, we posted a poll for you guys. The poll went, which monetization model do you prefer as a player for indie games on mobile? And your choices were free to play with in-app purchases, one-time purchase, no ads, ad supported with optional ad removal, or subscription based, such as Apple Arcade or Play Pass. All right, guys, let's get into it. Who wants to go first? What was your choice?
Let's let Maz go. He's been,
No,
excited about this
I've been
one.
talking too long. You go first, my man.
You, Kronos.
Okay. I'll go. I went free to play because I
Alright.
was like, that's normally what I do. I do the free to play games, and if they got like, hey, you can watch this ad to get double coins or something. If I a lot of times I'm playing these games like while I'm watching a movie or watching TV. Sorry, same thing I guess. But like eating dinner or something, I'll let the ad play and eat a little bit. let the ad finish, get my reward, come back and play a little bit.
Nice. I'll go next. So I picked free to play with in-app purchases. So those games would be like, your Fallout Shelter. Those games would also be like Pokemon Go. And that would be because Pokemon Go, I don't believe has ads. I don't think I've ever come across ad. It's been so long since I've got into it. Like I said, a couple months ago is when I opened it up in on my phone. But I love the games that you put on your phone, you can play, and you have the option to do in-app purchases, those microtransactions. Like if you have the option to do it, I'm all for it. Cause then it's my choice. It's my money. If I want to pay for these stupid little things to make my life easier in the game, cool. But as long as the game doesn't push me to make that purchase, always give me the option. Anyways, I digress. Mass, what about you?
If you are good enough, then I'm gonna buy your services. If your game is enticing enough, then you don't need to rely on ads for anything. You are golden. Thing that, and I could go through all of these, but I chose free to play with in-app purchases because that's the way that it is. It's a freemium game, right? As they call it. It's free to play, but it does. And I'm talking about in-app purchases, not play to win. I'm sorry, not pay to win.
Right.
Do not put me in a position where in order for me to progress, I have to buy something. Not going to work for me. One-time purchase, no ads. I don't believe in that because most games nowadays, and it goes back to what Kronos was saying, is, hey, I can put in, I can get double coins or whatever the reward is if I want to watch an ad. And then they're like, oh, for $8.99, we'll get rid of ads. And then under it says, ads for rewards still available. Well, no ads. I'm not giving you money. I'm not giving you money. Right. I'm not going to give you money. So you stop playing some ads, but if I want a reward, I still have to watch ads.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Ad supported with optional ad removal. That kind of ties. I think the one-time purchase, no ads kind of those kind of go hand in hand. I mean, there are a little bit of difference. Subscription based. How many times do you see, $4.99 a week on some of these mobile games? The subscriptions are weekly. So I'm going to give you $5 a week. I'm going to give you $20 a month for your piece of crap game.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we'll remind you 3 days before we on the free trials, 3 days before we charge you, and they never do. So if we're going to do any type of monetization, the only way I think to go is the free to play with in-app purchases, because the biggest crux of in my life when it comes to playing mobile games is getting inundated with ads. So if you're going to give me a good, solid, premium feeling experience without those ads and an option to have some in-app purchases, I'll be loyal to you. And guess what? I'm more likely to buy those because I'm not being hassled with stupid ads all the time. Here's another sidebar. I love what Kronos said with, I'll watch the ad, I'll put it off to the side and I'll eat my dinner or I'll watch my show or whatever. Have you ever closed the app while an ad's playing? It'll wait for you to come back. It's like, I'll pause it, I'll hang out. Okay, you're back. Let's finish the ad. Yeah. So, I mean, this is like, we found a hot button with me, guys. We found a hot button.
I love it, dude. Man. Well,
it's okay. We're going to be pressing it, Maz.
Yep. We're pressing it all night. It's good. Well, the totals over on Discord and on X, the winner was free to play with in-app purchases. Whopping 80% of votes over on there. And then in second place, ad supported with optional ad removal. So those were the winners. I would like to just go over real quick. So in my head, this is how I play it out in my head, right? And I was going over this with my wife as well. How do these sound? Okay, they sound pretty good. Okay, so free to play with in-app purchases reminds me of games like Pokemon Go, and one-time purchase, no ads, reminds me of a regular game. What do you do on Steam? You go and buy the game one time and you play it. That's it. That's the gist. That was the gist of that one. But you don't really see that anymore. And we'll get into a little bit about that later. And then we have ad supported with optional ad removal. So I would think that's like you were saying, it's like they say you can, purchase the ad, whatever, this, and then remove the ads. And then, they still have like at the bottom, like, oh, but you can still get a reward if you watch this ad. Like, why? Why did I even do that then?
100%.
And then obviously subscription based like Apple Arcade, Play Pass. Real quick, and I'm assuming you have Maz because of what you said earlier. But what about you, Kronos? Or even Maz again if you didn't. Subscriptions on mobile. Have you got them before?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you, Maz?
I have before. And here's the problem with that, right? What do we usually do? I mean, I already told you what I do. I play games until I see another game and then I get rid of it. And guess what? It's really easy to forget about subscriptions when you do it that way. Oh, no, another $5 for the month just popped off. Fortunately, and I've never subscribed to anything that's a weekly thing. That's just stupid. Yeah, but the monthly one, $9.99 a month or $5.99 a month, and oh damn it, I need to get rid of that. And it usually happens when I'm at work or something's going on and I never think of it again. And then until next month when it hits me again, and there have been times finally when you're just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop what I'm doing and get rid of this right now. Getting subscriptions to those types of games, especially if you cycle through them like I do on mobile, because these mobile games are small and they're not as well put together as some of these other games that on the consoles and on PC and whatnot. It's one of those types of things where it's easy to just abandon them. And when you abandon them, sometimes you just forget to unsubscribe as well. And that can get costly. So so yes, I've done it before. No, I won't do it again.
Gotcha. I have as well. And like I said, I have Android. So I went ahead and I got the Play Pass when I think it was in its like infancy, like when they first started doing it, whatever. And I think that's how I got started. I got started for like dirt cheap. It was like, $4.99. And I did it during my free time, whatever. Oh my god, I can't think of it off the top of my head. The time before you have to pay for the subscription, and then I got rid of it. I got rid of it before they charged me, so I was good on that, which I'm usually not very good on that. And by looking at it, like I even on my phone right now. So as we've been talking about this mobile games in general, I've been on my phone looking through mobile games and everything. And also, I did download Pokemon Unite, Kronos, just so you know.
Nice. I'm telling you, you're gonna have fun.
Nice. And as soon as I did, all of a sudden I get $3 off any in-app purchase when you sign up for Play Pass. It's because it's whole monthly offers for top games across over 1,000 ad-free games and apps. Flame. No thanks. I'm not doing that. I don't know.
I don't sell you right off the bat.
Yeah, dude. I don't see I don't see the value in it. Just like you, Mess. Like I don't see the value in that. It's one of those subscriptions I'm going to forget about, just like you said, and be like, crap. I need to cancel that. Especially for someone like me that never plays mobile games in general. I got my like set 3 and that's it. So it wouldn't be worth it for me. Yeah, I
cracked the code with subscriptions now, though.
Yeah,
I did it the other day. So I went to take my daughter out to see Megan 2.0 in the movie theater.
No way.
Yeah, it was so good. It was really good. And she loves those. But we decided, hey, we're going to watch the first one again, like the night before we went. So, okay, we watched 1 and then we're going to watch 2 and this is going to be great, right? Well, I didn't want to buy it on Amazon. And so right now you can get it on Stars. At the time of this recording, get it on Stars. So the subscription is like, $10.99 a month with a 7-day trial. Right. And I've burned myself before doing that. So, the 7-day trial. And then all of a sudden I get a call while I'm at work from Mrs. Maztec with the WTF, not a nice call to get from the wife. But I cracked the code because what I did was I got the trial and then I logged back in and canceled it right off the bat because you still get the 7-day trial. So I just canceled immediately. So I just immediately cancel it. So that has proven to be helpful in the past. Like most recently, I've done it before, but like something I need to really get into is just cancel it right off the bat if you have no intention of buying it.
That's the word I was looking for. A trial period. I couldn't think of that for the life of me earlier.
There you
So-
go.
Yay, got it, guys. So, anyways, yeah, that's for our listeners. Hey, little trick, Mez. Just told you, try it out. I mean, I'd probably try it out. Why not?
You
I'll get the
should,
play
right?
pass and try and cancel it right
I
away.
can be honest. I've done that a couple times. Like try out this, try a free trial, and I'm like, okay, hey, I want to play this game. So then or like even like a movie, we'll download the free trial, and like I'll cancel it as soon as I get it, like instantly. Just
That's the way to go.
like cancel your free trial now. Yep. Okay. Why? Just not interested. And like Matt said, you get to keep it. It doesn't run out until the period's over with.
I love when they ask you, they're like, why? I usually put because, and I just send it.
Or
What?
sometimes
I
what
want
I'll
I
do,
just wanted the free trial.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
like if I don't do it instantly, I'll set a reminder on my phone about the time the movie's gonna be over with, like cancel trial.
Yeah, so I would love though, with our listeners right now, let us know if you've tried the Apple Arcade subscription on your mobile device, or if you've tried Play Pass if you have Android, and if you actually use it, if it's worth it, because we'd love to know if it's gotten any better and if it would be worth a lot of people's time or not. But I would assume not, just because from our listeners voting, there's, it didn't even get a vote. So, but yeah. So some people over from the poll mentioned a few things. So Yemi, good old Yemi, always popping in to say a word with us.
He's a badass.
Yeah, Yemi goes, I only play the Pokemon TCG Pocket app, and it has the FTP with in-app purchases. I feel like it's generally better than most other apps I've used in the past. I've never played that. Oh, no, I have played that. I have opened that up because I got crazy into Pokemon cards probably last year around this time. And I downloaded that, I think, because in that you can keep track of your cards and everything. Yeah, good app. Not bad at all. Not super annoying like some apps can be,
Yeah, that was not bad. I have it, but I don't hardly use it because you get like if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the one where you just open packs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's you get like one pack a day unless you spend money, which I'm like, it's kind of a ripoff.
Right. Yeah, you're like, I'm not about that.
But then there's people out there that's like, I gotta collect them all. Let me spend $300 a week on these packs. It's like,
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. But oh man, you want to talk about getting people's money when it comes to stuff like that, like the collector fever people get when it comes to Pokemon cards or Magic cards or stuff like that. The perfect platform to get people's money even more is on mobile. I mean, if you love, for people, I don't like getting virtual cards, I'm just saying, but I did like the physical, going out, buying the pack, open it up, it's like a present every time you open it. Oh, what am I gonna get? I don't get that way when it comes to mobile, but a lot of people do, and that's why it works. That's why they have it like that, so that they can try and make money off people doing that. So, I mean, I guess it is one of those apps that, like, it's their money. You do what you want with it. Just like, some people might think buying Pokemon cards is a waste, but it's their money. They do what they want with it. So who cares? It's not your money. I like games and apps like that. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't have to, even if you don't want to, then you never have to buy anything, but it's there if you want it. But yeah, other than that, a couple other people annihilate in general. But a personal vendetta against mobile gaming. It's scary.
I don't
Oh,
blame him.
man.
I don't blame him. I mean, it hits home. This is what we're talking about, right? He just doesn't put up with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, like I said, for me, it's probably like I'm not to that extreme, but I am to a point like that. Like I said, that I just don't want to play because of all the crap, So there was something that I wanted to mention earlier, and I skipped over real quick from the poll, is this one-time purchase thing, right? So normally games on any other console, you'll buy them, you'll play them, that's it. Other than that, you can buy DLCs and stuff like that, right? But what do you get most of the time when you're on mobile? You get these free to play games, right? And I almost think that we're conditioned to go on the mobile, our phone, and go on the app store and just be conditioned to know or to feel like we need to get any game on there for free, an app for free. And because of that, this is how we're tying it into indie devs here, right? Because of that, I think it makes it that much harder on indie devs trying to get a game out there and trying to make some money off of it so that they can try and do it possibly full time and make a studio, blah, 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 or even compete against anyone, right? So, because how is an indie dev going to put their game on there for like $4.99 when anyone going on there is already conditioned to go through, all right, this one's free, this one's free, $4.99, I'm not playing that. Free, 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 click. And then it's like, okay, well, what's the dev supposed to do? Well, maybe if you follow the practices of all these other people that are, or these other big AAA companies that are putting these small app games up on there and putting ads in, like that's the only way you're going to be able to make maybe some money off of it in order to do anything with it. So it's almost forcing, in my opinion, I feel it's forcing indie devs to release their games on mobile if they're only going for mobile. Now, this is a completely different subject if we're talking about if they already have their game on Steam and they're porting it to mobile, if it's possible. But I think it just makes it really hard. It forces devs to put their game up on mobile for free and then think of a way in order to make money off it, whether it's of the options we've talked about, having the one-time purchase, which is probably going to get passed up, free to play with in-app purchases, which I think is the smartest model that I would go for, or the ad supported with ad removal, which is the most annoying and could get a lot of hate. What do you guys think about that? Do you think indie devs are kind of being pushed that way? Like when you go on, are you immediately, do you feel like we're being conditioned to just be like apps should be free on mobile? Kronos?
I'm not. So I mean, I guess in a way, it does feel like they should be free because it's like you think you're playing game. Like I guess like you said, we're conditioned that way. It's a lot of the games that when you first started was able to play them on your phone, they were all free because people were just getting them out there. Like, hey, I'm just releasing a game. And like, what was it? The most played phone game was like Angry Birds and Candy Crush. And they were both free to play. So then people are going to be like, why am I going to pay $5 for this game from somebody who I don't even know and this game's barely been played? I can just stick with what I know is good. It's free. And I ain't got to spend any extra money on it.
What about you, Miss?
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I don't pay for apps. I mean, we use our phones entirely too much to have to pay for every single thing we do. And I think they got the right idea by, changing it so that's not the case, okay? But it does create a lot of problems for indie devs. You have to bring truckloads, absolute truckloads of money for marketing when it comes to these types of games. There are an ungodly amount of mobile games available. And how do you stand out? The only way you stand out is by marketing it. I mean, there are games out there that never, ever shut up when it comes to marketing. There's that Legend of Mushroom that has been out recently, which is like a roguelite type of game. There is Candy Crush. They don't do it so much anymore. But then you've got I think it's Royal Match with the stupid king that and here's what we're talking about. That's kind of like a Bejeweled type puzzle game. But there's the ad with the king that you got to get him out of this crazy situation or he's going to die, which does not happen in that app. But there are, and that is one of those types of games that we were talking about, like where it's free to play with in-app purchases, no ads. Really, really awesome. But they've got celebrities that are like, have you played Royal Match? I play it all the time. No, you don't. But
no,
hey,
you don't.
Thanks. Yeah. Hey, I'm Tom Cruise and I play this video game. No, you don't, but that's all right. Whatever works for you, right? But here's the thing is, the reason why I mentioned that, it might sound like I'm going off on a tangent or a rant, but how much money did those actors, those celebrities get paid to say, hey, I play this app?
Yeah.
These indie devs don't have that kind of money. These solo indie devs, 99 times out of 10 don't have that kind of money for marketing. And what happens at that point? You are forced to open an AdSense account, and you are forced to either charge, which I guess I don't pay for apps. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that. But then on top of that, you're also forced to add ads to your game. But good luck being found if you're not marketing. You're just going to get buried. So yeah, I think that to answer you kind of circle back and answer the question. Yeah, I think that we have an expectation that that apps are free to a certain extent. We're conditioned to feel that way. And now there's some apps that are not game related that are, you pay for it, and we don't mess around with the ads and all that crap. But that's more like practical applications, not video games.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's tough out there, man. It's tough when you have all these. It seems like, and I was talking with May about it the other night. I go, it seems like these first few companies, first few studios that got onto mobile, that started hitting it big with the market in general, all of a sudden became these huge, massive mobile game companies that had seemingly all the money in the world to blow on marketing for any game that they put out there. And it almost seemed like, you got Candy Crush, you got the creators, Rovio, was it? From Angry Birds. And yeah, so from Rovio, you got a King, and oh man, there's so many now. But there was like a good top five, right? And it seems like those were the only ones that were getting any traction. And they were just blowing out anyone else that ever tried to get anything up on mobile, because they had the boatloads of cash from Candy Crush to throw out there to be like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna take Candy Crush here, right? We're gonna strip it down. We're gonna leave the code as it is. We're gonna change this one mechanic, and we're gonna throw a new coat of paint on it and make it a new game. And we're gonna do that about 10 times and throw it out there and make some more money, guys. Sound good? Sound good? Okay. Also, that cash of that truck of cash, that's going to that game. That truck of cash going to that game. And it's like, so like no matter what you did, you as an indie dev, there's no chance of discoverability. And it's also playing back to what we always say is AAA companies sticking to what they know, right? They stick to what they know. These guys stick to what they know. They know these match threes, match fours, they always hit. They are always good. People love to play the hell out of them. So are you going to stop that? No, of course not. Well, then what does that do for indie devs? Indie devs are known to think outside the box. They're known to push boundaries, create different styles of play. If you're trying to do that on mobile, how much success do you think you're going to get? Not much. It just doesn't work as well. You're probably going to get snuffed out unless it's something astronomically different that really grabs the attention of the casual gamer in general. Because I think in general, and based off what Kronos was saying earlier, of him saying, you play a game, and if it has an ad, you kind of, okay, you press the ad for the reward, you set your phone to the side, continue eating, watching TV, whatever it is. She does the same thing for her game. She's on her phone, playing the game, ad comes up, sets it aside, goes and takes a drink for a soda or whatever it is, and it's like, okay, that's it. So like when the average person does that, that's the average. I'm thinking to myself, that's the average casual gamer. So how is a indie dev supposed to come in and fill the gap with that, in a different way? And maybe it has something to do still with people that are just used to, like I said, just used to everything else with how gaming started with the match threes and everything like that. Maybe it's just we're so used to how things are run that when something new comes along, that we're just like, nah, we're gonna stick to what we know. We're gonna stick to what we know and how we play games on mobile. It almost seems like it's just a completely different way of making games in general for mobile. So what do you guys think? So I'm just going to go and pop it over to our next segment here. So we talked a little about the market and how mobile games are in general. We've talked about monetization a bit. Now let's get into, as I was just discussing a little bit, and we'll just lead right into it, creative freedom and development constraints. So the development constraints, what do you think is like holding back indie devs the most when it comes to putting their game? Is it do you feel, I mean, Maz, you talked about it a little bit. Do you feel it's marketing? What about you, Kronos? What do you, if I know you're the one that plays the most mobile games out of the three of us, so do you think, I mean, could you probably name off, or do you think all the games you play are from AAA, or are most of them maybe double AD? Do you even pay attention? Probably not something we really even pay attention to.
Yeah, I really don't pay attention to it. Like, it's kind of, I mean, there's been some like wacky little games that you could tell are not bigger studios that made them, and I'm like, I've played the hell out of those games. But then there's other games where it's like, you can tell like well like Angry Birds 2, I got like bored with that one pretty quick. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and keep playing this. You know, it's like it's you'd think a studio that big would have I mean, after the first game they would have a ton of stuff they could have stuck into the second one. But it was actually a lot less and like fun than some of the smaller ones.
Kind of one of those been there, done that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I felt about that too when they were coming out with new ones. Do you think it's harder to be an indie dev making mobile games with that creative freedom that we're used to over on Steam?
Think so, because I mean, it's almost like you said, like how you've said before. If a game is good, it's gonna get noticed. For granted, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more mobile games than there are probably games on Steam. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I mean, it's just like with the games like we've mentioned, like Angry Birds or Candy Crush. Those games could have flopped, but it was like they were kind of popular, got picked up. You know, people started liking them, they started playing them, and then they got recognized. There's other games too, like Massive, Balloons, TD. The other five, I never played them. TD6 was like stood out as that game that looked really fun, so I actually tried it out. And you know, it's just wash and repeat of what I've said. It's just if a game is good, it's or as you said, sorry. If a game is good, it's gonna get noticed. So I don't think they would really struggle on mobile versus like Steam.
Gotcha. I mean, I think an argument could be made that I do feel they would struggle on mobile, but not in terms maybe creativity to a point, right? Like I said, if you're trying to I think there's an easy route and there's the hard route. There's the easy route if you want to try and be like everyone else and make a match 3 and throw it up there. Maybe you can get some, if it's got a unique feature to it, maybe you can get some traction with that. If you're trying to go the hard route, you're trying to do something very creative, very different mechanic. I think you'll struggle. I think you'll struggle as a dev. And I don't think you'll struggle as much if you do some kind of multiplayer feature because let's be honest, I think a lot of people are more willing to give multiplayer features a chance on mobile when you're connecting with other people. I mean, I have a guy at work that every day he's on his lunch break playing a pool game with his kid, a multiplayer game. All right, it's not every day, but every now and then he'll pop it up like, oh, which I saw just playing this little game. And I think that's really cool. It's something that, I think could really work. If you're trying to be creative outside the box, it doesn't have to be something, generic like a pool game or whatever. But yeah, I think in general, if the dev is trying to be outside the box, they're going to have a hard time unless they have a boatload of cash and maybe backing. Like if they go on Kickstarter and I mean, I would love to see if there's been some successful Kickstarters with mobile games. I'm sure there are. But if if the Kickstarter was like, yeah, we need like 50 grand to throw at marketing, I think it would just take a lot of marketing to get their game seen. And then I do think if the game is good in and of itself, then it will be seen, it will be played, it will be successful. But I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing these AAA companies are going to not snuff something like that out right away. How about you, Miss? You think they'll have no problem having some creative freedom, or are they going to get snuffed?
Right, right. So, I mean, I think that you can't go too intricate with mobile. I love Final Fantasy, and they have Final Fantasy games on mobile. They had one called Final Fantasy Record Keeper, which was awesome because I don't know if you've ever played that one, Neil, because I know that you're a huge Final Fantasy fan. What
Yeah.
Record Keeper was, you would take characters from all the different Final Fantasies and create like a super party. So you could have a party, and it was all 8-bit, like old school 16-bit rather, like they had on Super Nintendo and those types of games, like the older games. But you could like have like Cecil Harvey from 4 with Cloud Strife with Squall and Tidus. You could put them all together and have like one super team, which was awesome, right? But was on mobile, and it gets tired. It's a small screen. And I think that a lot of indie developers, though, they're tied to your match 3, which, also, merge type games is match 3, match 4, puzzle. They have to be a little bit smaller. And so I don't think that you have that kind of creative freedom that you would on any other platform, to be honest. And I kind of disagree with, the discoverability thing. If it's a great game, it's going to have its moment. I don't necessarily know if that's true on mobile. Respectfully disagreeing with you on that one, Kronos, because as of.
How dare you?
I know,
Hey, that's
right?
what we're here for. We're here
What a
to
jerk.
discuss and talk,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Right,
No.
absolutely.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, you shut your trash mouth, right?
your opinion is
Right, exactly. 2025, right now, there's 70,000 indie games on Steam. And some of them get found and some of them we'll never find. I mean, I do this indie game showcase and I'm pulling out games that I found on X. I found them on social media, other parts of social media. I'm not finding those on Steam, guys. I'm going to the source where people are like, hey, I want to market my game. I want it to be found. And trying to help pull it to the forefront with these indie game showcases. And that's in a sea of 70,000. As at the end of 2024, Google Play has 265,000 indie games on it. As of the end of 2024, the App Store has 183,000 indie games on it.
Oh my gosh.
What is that? 438,000? 438,000?
That's insane, dude.
that's ridiculous.
So when we look at it that way, it's a completely different ballgame. I'm not joking when I say you have to come to this mobile platform with truckloads, loads plural, truckloads of money to market your game. And maybe, and you know what? A lot of these devs, they're not in it to get rich. They're in it to fulfill a dream. And if you get rich along the way, great, good for you. But I think that you are both tied to what's popular now. I think if you are taking 2 years, 3 years, what if you take 5 years to create a mobile app? Because you're trying to, your scope is probably a little bit higher than it probably should be. I remember these always changed. Like Match 3 was not always the way to go. It was puzzles. It was side scrolls. It was racing games. Those were the most popular. You use the gyroscope in your phone and be able to use as a steering wheel to race. Those were the games when they first came out. And it has evolved to puzzles, to Bejeweled type games. Now we're at Match 3. And now I think that kind of constrains what you can and can't do or should and shouldn't do, depending on the era. And once you find that there's something that kind of appeals to the masses, well, if you want to have something that is popular right now, it's Match 3. Well, guess what? There are 47 bajillion Match 3 games on these apps at any given time. And we're talking over 400,000 indie games where you got to be found under. I think that that's scary. And a big influencer plays it. Sure, there are big YouTubers that cover mobile games, and some people will get a break off of that. But that's if those influencers are finding it. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to, or it's on anybody's radar. So I'm sorry to be long-winded, but this I believe is the reality of it. Too many options and definitely constrained and limited to what you can or should try to put on mobile.
Yeah, and it's funny. I don't know. I totally forgot to mention this in the beginning. For like another reason I don't really like playing on mobile games or playing mobile games in general is just my screen. Don't like playing mobile games on my small mobile phone screen, and I don't usually enjoy the controls. Like, that's why it's so much easier to do Match 3s and even simple racing games, because all you do is you swipe a little left, you swipe a little right to move the car left and right. On Match 3s, you're sliding things around on the screen. It's so much. I remember trying to get emulators on my mobile phone, doing like Final Fantasy 7. Before that was, I think it's available you can get it as an app or a game now, if I'm not mistaken. But I would get it as an emulator, and then you have to download a special emulation crap and put it on there, and then it gave you the little joystick and the buttons that are transparent on the screen, and playing through, and my phone's getting really hot, and all of a sudden the battery's dying really quick, and I'm like, you know what? It's just not hitting the feels like it did before.
I hear you.
It's like, at first I thought it was because it's an old game, I'm not getting into it. But no, it's because it's on my phone. Because, I play it on my Steam Deck all the time and I have no problem. You know what I did before? Now I don't know if you guys have ever tried this, but I bought a Kiwi. I think it's called a Kiwi, the backbone thing from Razer that you
Yep.
hook around your phone and use as like, two Joy Cons on the side. And that was actually pretty good. I tried that for a little bit, and by a little bit, I probably used it 5 times, and then I never used it again. It was such a waste of money. It was so bad. I don't know. Yeah. So in general, I've just never been able to get into mobile games, and one of those was the controls. So what do you think? Well, like for you, Kronos, you don't mind? Is it one of those you don't play games that demand, intricate controls?
Well, we mentioned Pokemon Unite earlier, and that game is pretty control heavy.
Okay.
So, I mean, personally though, I don't really have an issue with controls. Like, I've just kind of adapted to them pretty easily. So,
Kronos, I just want to know why you like mobile games and I don't. I need to know.
I
Just-
guess kind of like that fun little just like goof around in game that doesn't take a lot of effort.
Okay.
Like, I mean, like that hill climber game I got, it's literally you have a gas and a brake, and you got to just try and go as fast as you can, through the maze. You got hills, you got obstacles to avoid, and it's nothing else to it. You don't have to aim, zoom in, shoot, bounce this grenade off of these two walls to hit the guy behind the corner. It's not like a normal racing game where it's like you got to brake, turn, and gas again, and make sure you don't hit other cars. They're simple to play, and when you're at work or something, you don't want to be with that real challenging game that could sometimes aggravate you. They're more of a relaxing game to me. They're my cozy games.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I
Kronos is
think I'm,
Stardew.
dude.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say that they're my Stardew Valley.
Well, now I understand. Now we are on the same wavelength here, dude. Okay, I get it because I think no, for real though. I think I'm starting to understand a little bit here because I would never play a mobile game to pass the time at home, right? Unless maybe, for instance, I'm not available to play my Steam Deck. I'm not able to play on my console or my PC. And my only option is my phone. Then I might be forced to play some kind of, and like you said, it seems like, and the same thing goes for my wife, Bay. Like, it seems like one of those, she'll play the games that don't demand a lot out of her. It's just something to, like, kind of almost mindless to a bit, but it's also entertaining. It's fun to do. It's just fun to go through and do. And then when she needs to put it down, or she needs to, she's in the middle, like she's making dinner, she's waiting for something to, cook in the oven, and all of a sudden the timer goes off. She could throw her phone to the side, go get it out, put something else in, pick her phone back up, and go back at it. So it's like that entertainment in between doing other things that you usually do. And I think that makes sense, a lot of sense for at work. Like if I'm on my lunch, of course, there's no way I'm bringing my Steam Deck to work. Well, I actually did take it to work one time just to show it off because the guys were asking about it compared to the Switch 2 before it came, or right as it came out. And I never brought it back since because I'm too afraid that it's going to get scratched or something's going to happen to it. If I had my phone on me, and instead of doing Duo to do my Spanish lessons, if instead I didn't want to go on TikToks or YouTube Shorts, I could just play a mobile game and to pass by the time, and that actually might be more entertaining.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it too. It's like that, and your phone fits in your pocket. You can have your game if you want that game to play. Like like we said, in that downtime, it fits in your pocket, and you can take it wherever you're at.
I say, like, you always have it on you. You don't have to be thinking, like for me, if I bring my Steam Deck somewhere, but like I'm always worried about it getting lost, stolen, wrecked, broke, scratched, something, right? But if it's my phone, it's always in my pocket. I'm not worrying about it. I always have it on me, so I can always just pull it out and like, oh, playing some random game,
Hey, like you go on vacation, and you're like, hey man, hey, Pokemon Go. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
back to your story. Remember, you said,
Dude, that was the besides Fallout Shelter. Maybe we'll ask this too. I would love to ask this actually amongst our listeners as well. For your most played mobile game, your like favorite of all time. I would love our listeners to chime in over on Discord and let us know what's your favorite mobile game of all time that you, and even like maybe it's one you continuously go back to. Like I said, mine's Pokemon Go and Fallout Shelter. 100% all the way. Those two I will leave on my phone because I will always go back to them at some point. They're just addictive. They're addictive, man. And plus, Pokemon Go has a multiplayer feature now, where a lot more predominant in the game than it used to be before. Now you can actually battle other people who you are friends with on there. And usually I just battle my brother or we'll go on raids together. And because it's not really good when you're trying to, play a, play a competitive game with a sibling. It could end, pretty bad. Where it's not going to be so bad maybe with like a friend. What's your number one? Like your number one go-to, Chronos?
For number one go to. Now, see, I don't physically have a number one go to because I'm almost like Maz in a way. I will play a game for a little bit and then I'll get tired of it. I won't delete it though. I'll keep it because I usually come back to them every now and then. But I don't physically have a number one go to. Like it's just whatever's on my phone is what I play.
Oh, I know you're playing Gardenscapes all the time. Come on. I know.
I've
Gossip
deleted that
Harbor,
one.
baby.
I've deleted that one every time it's downloaded.
Ah,
Now, to be honest with you, I mean, I guess my like big go-to that I've had on like every phone that I've gotten would be like the puzzle apps and stuff though. So it's not really games, I guess, in a way.
okay.
Cause like I'm a big like every morning when I wake up, I'll do like 2 Sudoku puzzles just to get the brain flowing. So it's like that is kind of like an every morning thing. Maybe that would be like a go-to as a puzzle game.
Gotcha. I like that. I don't know how you do Sudoku puzzles in the morning. In the morning, I'm so half assembled. What notifications did I get? Was that important? Don't know.
See, I don't drink coffee, so I need something to get the brain functioning.
I need my 12 ounce in the morning, my 10 ounce in the afternoon, another 12 ounce in the evening. Yeah, it's bad.
I definitely love me a Sudoku puzzle any time of day. Seriously, I'm with Kronos on there. It's weird too because I only drink coffee at work.
Whatever. Okay, whatever, guys.
News like my brain is firing nonstop on everything else. I don't need to add more to it. Okay.
There's a puzzle games. Let's make it harder.
Maybe that's why he hasn't finished Ruffy.
Yeah. No. You know what? Kronos. Yeah. Okay. That's why. I don't like the puzzles. No, it's an okay game though, but the puzzles piss me off sometimes. Mr. Maz, what about you? Your number one mobile game that you'll always go back to, or your favorite, whatever the case may be.
That's hard, man. That's hard because the Final Fantasy games they do charge. Like Final Fantasy IV, I've told you guys is my favorite one. At the time of this recording, I was actually playing it on my my Twitch channel. I can get on seriously. This is stupid. I can get on mobile for $15. I paid like $8 for it on Steam, and I'm with you, New. I got to have a big ass screen. I don't want to play on a whatever it is, a 4.8-inch screen or a 6-inch screen, whatever the hell it is, right? I can't do it. I can't. But my favorite was that Final Fantasy Record Keeper. They got rid of it, which is just terrible because it was a lot of fun. Because you got to play, like I said, like as a super team against enemies from the different games, like the bosses. So that was really, really cool. I don't know why they get rid of it. But I guess, there's Fallout Shelter's always tried and true, right? But I'm kind of with you in that respect. It's been a minute since I played Fallout Shelter, but I'm kind of with you on that, New, and I'm kind of with Kronos, as I just don't have a go-to per se, at least at this point anymore.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. I just think I also think it's kind of funny that the only mobile games I have that I'm like, yeah, I'll play that are like big AAA. Pokemon Go. Well, I mean, besides Stardew Valley being on there, but it's a big game too that made multi-millions, and I think because of its success, it had no problem going on mobile. I think in general, probably wouldn't have had a problem being a mobile game itself. Maybe it wouldn't have been as big. Maybe it would have. I don't know. But you just never know sometimes with some of these games. Like same with Minecraft being on there. It's like just these, if the games, and you have games like Balattro's on mobile, and I think that kind of fits, kind of like that card game style. I think card games in general, like these puzzle games, card games, they just seem to fit so much better, and even if you're playing like, your Sudoku puzzles, or you can play chess. I've actually played chess on my phone before, me and Bay got into it big time for a while, and then ended up getting a chessboard. But that's what it led to. It led from my phone to I went and bought a chessboard. Then we're playing chess all the time, and then we got out of the phase, and now we only play every now and then. But yeah, I think those types of games in general do pretty, probably I would assume pretty well on mobile. Well then, so we've discussed a bit about the creative freedom, development constraints that these indie devs might have in general. And I was just saying right there that I feel that, you know, if the game does really well, if an indie dev does really well on Steam, Xbox, pretty much any other platform, they could probably have a decent release if they put it on mobile. But then that's the other question, like, does it belong on mobile? Would it does it even matter to go on mobile? I mean, you think it would, because of, I mean, everyone has a smartphone. So what does it take for someone to be like, hey, did you hear of this brand new game that came out and it just that's been super popular, but it just released on mobile? No, let me check it out. And then you get even more sales from that. Because you've probably done this too. Maybe you guys both have done this, where it's something same as I have, where there's a specific game that you just love. You love, like for me, Final Fantasy VII, and and Stardew Valley, of course. And I've bought it on Xbox, I bought it on PC, I bought it on my Switch, and I bought it on my phone. It's like it's almost like I just want to try it on everything. But for your phone in general, like you love, like you get into these crazy, like Minecraft, like, you know, like the Minecraft itch. You're playing Minecraft all the damn time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it on my phone because I can link it between my Xbox and my phone. So whatever I do on my phone goes straight and links and syncs straight to my Xbox. That's awesome. And I got into that for a while, and then I just like I dropped it completely on my mobile phone. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. But do you guys have that like specific game that did really well on all their other consoles, and you loved it so much you're like, I'm gonna buy it again on mobile? And if you did, was it as good as you thought, or did you regret your purchase?
Bloons TD6, 100%. And it's 100% the game is on Steam, vice versa. In fact, it came out on mobile. Kronos had mentioned that he hasn't played 1 through 5. Those all came out on mobile. The reason why he found 6 was because it was on Steam. I don't believe that they are on Steam other than 6. But
oh wow,
it's every bit the game that it is on mobile that it is on Steam, and vice versa.
What about you Kronos?
I don't have one of those games. If I'm the type that if like, okay, hey, I bought this game on my Xbox, I'm gonna play it on my Xbox.
Really?
Yeah. Just like I can get Halo, you know, I got the Master Chief Collection on Xbox and my PC. I only play it on Xbox. I've yet to load it up on PC.
Wow.
And I don't know why, because I mean, you know, you hook a controller in, it's going to play the same. As far as my mobile games, none of my mobile games are on like console or PC, as far as I know. I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure they're not. So, you know, they're only going to be on the phone, whereas my games that I have on my PC are only on my PC. So I'm like, okay, well, since these are my PC games, I'm just going to keep my Xbox games on my Xbox.
Yeah.
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 I don't know why I keep them all separated. I'm like, I got that game here. I don't need to rebuy it over here because it's the same game.
I mean, it's smart. It's way better than what I do. I'm crazy sometimes with it. Like, I'm playing on my PC. I can't get enough of it. I need it on my Steam. Well, I guess I can link it with my Steam Deck. But I'm like on my Xbox, you know, before I had my Steam Deck, like, you know, No Man's Sky you can sync it on the Xbox app on your PC with your Xbox. And so I was playing that for the longest time, and I'm like, I can't get down to my PC, so I'm going to get on my Xbox. Now I'm playing on my Xbox. Oh, I'm going to go back down to my PC tonight, so I'm going to play it more on there. It's so crazy. Such a waste of money when I should just keep playing it on the one console or my PC that I bought it on, you know? Yeah.
Stand corrected. So you can get Bloons TD Battles, Bloons TD Battles 2, Bloons TD5, and TD6 on Steam. But the funny thing is, it was literally, I think, 4 years between 5 and 6. 6 already came out in 2018, so what, 7 years ago already?
Wow.
Wow.
All right. With that, guys, I think it'd be good to get into the mailbag.
Mailbag!
Dude, oh my God, it's so good. So over in the mailbag, we had a great question from Yummy. He asked.
Yemi?
Yeah, I know, right? Freaking Yemi, this guy, such a champ, MVP, dude. So Yummy goes and says, I recently played through Sonic Mania and I thought of a question. What other big titles, characters, etc. should get the indie revival treatment? Sonic Mania being developed by a team of small independent devs with Sega backing it. First thing that comes to mind for me is Banjo-Kazooie. I would love to see an old retro 3D ramp in the same style as the 64. Wow, that's a good one, man. And before we get into it, him saying Banjo Kazooie, this is not like a light thing. This is something that is being said amongst many gamers who loved Banjo Kazooie, who want to see it brought to life, but no one seems to care enough to do so. It's so strange. So strange. But anyways, yeah, so you want to start this off, Maz?
Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded question. I mean, I could name a million of these games off. You know, it's like I even kind of quickly answered it, you know, right there because it's such a good question. Like answered it right in the mailbag area, but that's really not what I would go with. I mean, like a couple things I had mentioned Alex Kidd in Miracle World a couple of episodes back, you know, when we kind of had this conversation, a little bit of an impromptu conversation that was remade and backed by its predecessor, Sega. And so that was a game that came out in 1980. It was the mascot of Sega before Sonic. Sonic came in very shortly after that. And the only reason why Alex Kidd seemed to fade out is because they made a lot of different sequels after that. They made Alex Kidd and the Lost Stars, which was not nearly as good as Miracle World. And then they washed it down with High Tech World, which was even worse. And then they came out with Shinobi World, and that wasn't even good. And then they had, I believe, they took a stab at it one more time. I think it was called Enchanted Castle. Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle for the Sega Genesis, and then at that point, Sonic had already dug his heels in and took over as the guy for Sega. But I always, growing up, wanted that game, and I had mentioned this as well. I had gone on eBay and purchased the Sega Master System. This is before emulators, right? Purchased the Sega Master System, purchased Alex Kidd in Miracle World, played it until I got tired of it, resold it. And there was a time that I bought everything back again because it had been, 8-10 years since I had played it and wanted to play it again. And then they released something in 21 that was just a complete remake of it. And it also has a button that lets you swap back and forth between retro and the nuanced style, the new style. And then they came out in 2013. They came out with DuckTales. They redid DuckTales, and that was by a developer, Way Forward. And it was also It was published by Sega, which was awesome. So I'm sorry. It was originally developed by Capcom. It was redeveloped by Way Forward, and then it was published by Capcom. So it was really cool to see them picking up their old IP. I played a game in, I think it was 1991, when the Super Nintendo came out, and it was called Final Fight. And I originally played it in the arcade, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And it came out on Super Nintendo, and I loved it, and I played the crap out of it. I've even purchased it like on Steam now, like the old version, like the old arcade version. Even played it on console with my sons. We beat the game a couple of times. I would love to see a remake of that. I said that that was my answer in as a response to Yemi. I just thought it was such a good answer. Sorry, I thought it was such a good question that I answered it on the spot. I was like, I'll think of another one because knew you were smart. Said, I'll reserve my answer for the next episode we do it.
I was like, you're not gonna know.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. I might think of another one, but I'll be honest with you. I'm looking to get into game development right now. I'm kind of eyeing beat 'em up, and there are a couple games that come to mind: Final Fight and a game called River City Ransom. And River City Ransom is a game that came out for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1989. Was done by a company called Technos. They're still around. They've done, River City Girls since then. River City Underground, which is kind of like the like the high schoolers from the original beat 'em up older now, and it doesn't really hit as well. I thought that they had a really good art style with Alex Kidd. The remake is almost like a hand drawn, a very vector crafted artwork and animation. I thought it was really really cool. I think it would be kind of cool to see a River City Ransom done in that similar style, or Final Fight, or both. I mean, I can't pick one over the other. But those, I guess, those would be my two. The question is just too good to just answer with one. So I could list 3 or 4 dozen games that I'd like to see remade, but I'm gonna go with those two.
Nice. You know, for me, I have the issue of most of the retro games that I would have wanted to have been remade, or get the revival treatment, have already had it been done. You know, you have Animal Crossing from the GameCube. Love that game. I remember being on the Switch and being like, why haven't they made a new Animal Crossing? What is going on? This game was amazing. You know, maybe it's, I don't know if you would consider it, I would still consider it retro. Maybe not as retro as, you know, you're going back to the NES or Sega or anything like that, but still an older system, I think, that would be valid in this. But yeah, it's I mean, that was already made, well, revived, and became one of the most popular games on the Switch, was Animal Crossing New Horizons. I mean, I've already spoke about Stardew. I mean, Harvest Moon was revived kind of in a way with that. There was even another game, Harvest Moon Story of Seasons, which is now called something else because the two companies that made that game split, and now it's kind of wonky with how that goes. But anyways, the game was remade and it kind of sucked. Like they remade it, A Wonderful Story of no, it's called Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. That's the new title for it, or it used to be Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life. And they're not, the new company that remade it wasn't allowed to use Harvest Moon because they don't have the rights to use that name anymore. But anyways, I digress. The game was remade and it kind of sucked because they only changed like a couple, like they literally said, okay, let's just take the game and let's put better graphics and change maybe 1 or 2 characters and we're done, which kind of sucked. And I wish they would have done a little bit more with it, especially with today's standards. You want a revival, but you want a little bit more to it to bring more life to it, right? I think, in all honesty, the only I don't even know. I don't know what I would want. I would say Legend of Zelda, but I mean, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are amazing. So if I have to pinpoint like a specific game that I would love to see a revival of, maybe not a revival of like a specific like a genre title or something like that. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but like just a specific game would be The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And the reason I want a new revival of that game, or it's like a new game of that just brought back to life, is because I never played it fully through. And I would love to play that game again. That's the only reason. Every other game, I'll be fully honest with you guys, has pretty much had some kind of revival in one way or another that has been, well, except for Story of Seasons, Wonderful Life, has been pretty satisfying to where I was like, yeah, I got what I wanted. What about you, Kronos?
Very, very nice. So I'm gonna stick with the theme of, you know, listing a couple games. There's one I've mentioned in previous episodes. I think I even mentioned it and was talking about it in the episode with Yemi. It's The Legend of the Dragoon. Came out on the original PlayStation in June of 2000. They have not made a part 2. They did port it over to the PS like Pro thing that you can do, where you can play it on the 4 and 5, but it's just the original game ported over. Like, there has been no remastered, there's been no talks of anything coming for the game. Like, it was just left behind and forgotten, and that was one of the most fun games I've ever played in my life. And if they would just, you know, somebody would do something with it to make it more modern and fun again, I would spend days playing that game nonstop. And I would pay a hefty price to play that game. I hate to say that, but that would be $100 game. You know what? Sign me up.
Yeah, see, man, that's your nostalgia, right? Like that's
Yeah,
that's
like,
your Alex Kidd right there, bro. I get you.
because like that was a 4-disc game and it had so much in it that, you know, like if they made it into a modern game, it would be huge.
For that. But that is a good game. I remember that game. Hell yeah.
Like,
Me too.
could you imagine 25 years later, the graphics, how good that game would look. Like Unreal Engine 5 and remake that game.
Should.
Dude.
Look, it's similar to Final Fantasy VII. They remade it into the graphics. They did what everyone wanted. Imagine if they did that with Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah. That would be, to me, that would be like awesome because that game was really good. And my second option, kind of, not as old, but Spyro, the dragon, the original trilogy. I would love to have Spyro remade in like some modern, gameplay stuff. Because it came out in 1998. The last one released in 2008. And then in 2018, they got the original trilogy like a remastered. And then it's been forgotten ever since yet again. There's been no, hey, we're got a new game on the way or nothing. It's just like, Spyro's done. And those games were fun to play too. Like it had a nice story to it. I'm a big Dragon fan, as you can tell from my two choices. Can't help it. And like, there's not a lot of newer games that have like dragons and stuff in them that I can really get into. And those older games had that like, well, as we said, the nostalgia, it's just like playing with, friends, or I played Dragoon with my dad. We spent days playing that game trying to beat it. And it's like, to get that game back again would be fun. Me and my mom played a lot of Spyro. To get that back would be fun. I mean, it's so much. I'd more so want these games to get revitalized just to have fun with like my family again on those games. Not that I don't, but
Almost to bring back, what you had going, like kind of like a reminiscing in the like in the nostalgia of the game itself,
relive the moments, like
Yeah.
that. But that would be my two choices. I'd have to say was be Spyro and The Legend of the Dragon.
I like it. Nice. It's funny. Of course, after I've gone and I'm listening to what you're saying, I'm like, I like that game. Spyro's good too. And all of a sudden it popped in my head. There's one that I would have loved. It sucks though. My games that haven't, like I said, haven't had a revival are not really that old. You guys ever play a game called Dot Hack?
I have.
I have not.
They're good.
I was sitting here trying to think.
They're so good. And the only reason I remember is because I went on Steam and I was trying to look for them, and you can only get one of them, I think. But it was like a whole thing. It was kind of like, your Legend of Dragoon with 4 different discs. But this one, it was, you played the first Dot Hack, then Dot Hack Reanimate, and then Dot Hack. So it was like 4 games that came, year after year that came out, and you played them through. I would love to see that come back. Otherwise, the only way to play it is if I think it's PlayStation 2. If you grab a PlayStation 2 and you buy the games off eBay or something and you play it through them that way, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing either. But same as for you, like, would you rather play Legend of Dragoon on your PlayStation 1, or would you want it revitalized and, brought to life in a different manner to relive maybe on your Xbox, or
I was
PC?
just going to say, give it to me on my Xbox. I would love that.
Right? All right.
And, on that note, since I got thinking about it, you did mention the GameCube, and I was like, I'm going to stick to the older, full kind of retro.
Yeah.
If I went to the GameCube era, and it'd be kind of hard for them to get indie revitalized, because we all know this company does not like people doing anything with their properties, is Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon Gale of Darkness for the GameCube.
Dude, yeah.
But we all know that Nintendo would be like, no, you're not touching our games, so.
You're so right, though.
Nope.
But those games remade in a modern, like I said, just modern graphics, they would be so much fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care if it had the same gameplay as it did back then, but just to look like a new game, it would still be that much better, and I'd enjoy it so much more.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Cool.
Cool, guys.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much sums up this episode. I think we're all good. We're gonna wrap this up, guys. So, all right, listeners, if you enjoyed, be sure to join our Discord so you can be a part of everything that we come out with the polls, the discussions. If you want to ask questions, be a part of the dev interviews that we're going to have. You'll all get a bunch of information, a bunch of info, and get in on it early over in the Discord. And you'll be reminded of the episodes we release every Thursday at 5 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Eastern time. But we do hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
That's a wrap.
See you later.